Hello and welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly whip and chat, and if you are not familiar with that term, that is a work in progress. I am going to be working on this large diamond painting, and this is from the one with the diamond art, and it is by Cheryl Baker, and the name of it is Miss Tittles. I am on the third row, and I'm doing this for the Cheryl Baker event, and I'm having so much fun seeing everyone's progress in their posting, and that is hosted by my friend Cindy. And if you would like more information on that, I will put it below underneath the description. Also, there is another event that is coming up, and that is going to be in September. I'll put the information below, and it is from a dear subscriber. I'll put that information below as well. She also has a Facebook, and it is going to be fall Halloween themed. So I'll put that underneath there for you guys. I am going to be doing that one as well, along with the event that I am hosting, which is the Finira event. I will put information on that one towards the end of the video. I'll also put chapters underneath the description, so that way if you want to skip, you can go and see more information on my event as well that I am hosting for the one with the diamond art. So let's go ahead and get started. I already have some drills pulled out. This one is more so the background that I'm working on today. The center of this canvas is actually Miss Tittles, and I think that she is a rabbit. I could be totally wrong. Maybe I should go back to kindergarten and figure out my animals, but she looks like a rabbit to me. And anyway, we're going to go ahead and work on her. At the end of the video, I will also include or show you guys my progress on this one. I already had it set up on my table, and so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and get started, and then I'll just show you the progress. It is so much fun to do. It is a square. It's going pretty quickly considering that I have not had much time to diamond paint, and that is including July and August. September, I should be okay to have some me time and some diamond paint time. And then October, it is just going to depend. I'm going to try to get as much as I can done at the beginning of October. And then once Madison has the baby, then I know my time is going to be spent as much as possible with baby C. So I am really looking forward to that. We're all starting to get really excited. We've been excited before, but we're getting more excited now because of the fact that Kyle and Maddie are officially back in Georgia. He is going to be starting work again shortly, and she is just at the apartment. She's trying to get things done. I really think that she is starting to, prepare for the baby even more. She's starting to do some nesting where she wants to get her place fixed up, and it's a perfect time since they just moved. So she has been buying some things, getting some furniture and things that they decided not to bring with them, and then starting to get the baby's room ready. So we're definitely on baby alert. It'll be even more so as we get closer. But let me know how you guys are doing. Are you doing okay? Are you well? I always think about you guys. Every time that I go to diamond paint and I sit down at my table, I think, I wonder what everybody else is working on. And maybe I should just go ahead and do a video to catch up with you guys. But I am always thinking of you. Just know that even if I don't do as many videos as I would like or as I say I'm going to do, I am definitely trying. But it has been crazy season at our house. I mean, from really the whole entire year has just started out crazy. It has not let up, and I don't think that it is going to let up for the rest of the year. And that is quite all right. But I would love to know how you guys are doing. So I need to be thinking about you for anything in particular? Do I need to just keep you on my list that I have that I'm always, looking at and making notes, hoping everyone's okay? I am doing well, and so are my kids and my husband. Paige is finally over the crud, whatever that she had. It just seems like she has it for a couple of weeks. It seems like it is an allergy type of issue, but then she says it goes into sinus problems, but the doctors can't ever find anything. So they're just saying that it's probably attributed to the weather. And I've been saying that for years, but I don't know if there's anything other than allergy medication that they can give her. They have changed the medication, added some more. So we'll see when it starts to change even more in October. We'll have a better indication of what we need to do, or if we need to seek help from somebody else, or whatever that may be, whatever that looks like. But she's doing very well. She is having some issues with her new boss. I was afraid that that would happen. I had mentioned this on my last whip and chat, that when we called to tell her boss that, or texted her, told her boss that she was going to miss a couple weeks ago, her boss informed her that she is no longer at the place where Paige has been working for the last 2 years, and she has been an absolute godsend. I don't know what we would have done without Christy. She probably wouldn't have had the job had it not been for Christy, who, offered to hire her when Paige wasn't even really looking for a job. Paige has always enjoyed working there, but now that Christy's gone, we had a couple of issues on Friday last week. She was not happy from the time that she walked into the door until she left. When she got in the car, she was complaining and fussing all the way home. She said that she had planned on not going back. And I said, well, if you don't go back, I totally understand, but you have to give a 2-week notice. That is, you need to, even though really you shouldn't have to because of what she was doing. I said, but that is a respectful thing to do. More than likely, they're going to say you don't have to give a 2-week notice, but we just do it out of courtesy. And then also, if you ever need to use them as a reference, then they can say, yes, she gave a 2-week notice. So she said, okay, fine. I'm going to call her now, and I'm going to tell them that I'm giving my notice. I'm not going back. And I said, that's not a 2-week notice. 2-week notice means you have to go back for 2 weeks. Well, she didn't like that idea very much. And I said, well, let's just calm down. Let's not talk about it. And let's just, we'll talk about it later. And so then she wanted to talk about it some more. And there were some things that this lady was saying that Paige said, it's not right. I've never been told to do this before. I was always told not to do it. And that didn't help matters either, because when she first got there, she cannot log on her time card. She can't clock in, basically, because they don't just put her on the schedule. She just goes in and then they clock her in, and she works on Fridays usually. Well, because of that, I don't think that it will allow her to clock in because she's not on the schedule. So I'm not really sure why they never put her on there. Maybe it's just because of the hours or whatnot, but she gets paid, so she has to be on there somehow. But her boss had always had to log her in on a computer, and then Paige was able to log out. So Paige went in, she needed to log in. She told them, and the lady said, well, why can't you do it yourself? You've been here long enough. And so Paige told her, she said, I'm unable to log in. I always have to get somebody to log me in, and then I can log out. So she wasn't real happy that she had to actually do something, the lady. And then after Paige logged in, the new supervisor told her, well, we'll just put you on the register today. Go ahead and log into the register. Well, Paige cannot work the register. We had already discussed that before she was officially hired. and she is not good with money. There's no way, there's absolutely no way that she could work on the register. I mean, of course, the register tells you, how much that is owed, how much is due back. Well, she is terrible at counting money. Even if it tells exactly how much that they're supposed to get back, she cannot do that. And Paige knows that she can't do it. And besides that, the register would be just way over her level. She just, could not handle that. And that's too much stress. So she told this new manager that she couldn't work the register. And when the manager said, well, why not? And she said it kind of hateful. Paige said, well, my prior boss told me that I wasn't allowed to ever work on the register. And so this new lady got kind of mad. She's like, well, okay. She's like, then just go find something to do and stay out of my hair. So that upset Paige. Well, it upset me whenever Paige told me the way that she acted. And so then Paige was doing something and she asked for the receipt. And the lady's like, just forget it. I will take care of it. And she just snatched the bag out of Paige's hand and walked off. Well, of course, that hurt Paige's feelings. And, it wouldn't make me very happy either if she did me that way. So Paige was, upset about that. She's like, I didn't do anything to this woman. And I said, I know, I'm going to have to talk to her. And so the day went pretty much like that. Well, then at the end of the day, Paige said that, she was leaving. She was always supposed to tell her prior boss, and she didn't know if she should tell this lady or not. And so the boss just said, okay, bye, dear. And that's all she said. And I'm like, she said, bye, dear. And Paige said, that's it. She just said, bye, dear. And I said, what did you do? And she's like, I just walked off. And so I said, okay. I said, did you log off? And she said, yes, she did log out. And so, her time is recorded. So that was a good thing. But also during the day, it was an issue because Paige normally gets off at 2. Well, at 1 o'clock, they tell Paige, or 12:30, around between 12:30 and 1, they tell Paige, go ahead and take a 30-minute break. Well, she's only there for 3 hours. Technically, she shouldn't get a break. So, I know that. I get it. But they always tell Paige, you can take a break. And they always tell her to go get you some lunch. And she gets a free meal. They all do if they're working. So Paige usually gets tomato bisque soup. She loves their soup. She doesn't like anything else that they have there, but she likes their tomato bisque soup. So that's what she always gets. And she gets a cookie. Or they'll have red velvet cake, and she has to buy that. And she buys the piece of red velvet cake, a slice of red velvet cake, and she will have that, or sometimes she'll bring it home. Well, about 12 o'clock, I got a call from Paige, and that scared me because Paige never, ever calls me from work. She has never called me since she's been there almost 2 years, and I saw her name. I was in the library, and I'm like, well, this library is very noisy anyway. I'm not going to leave my computer laying here, obviously. So I just answered it. And I said, what's the matter? What's the problem? I didn't even say, hi. Because of everything that I said. I used to do that when Masson called too. But Paige said, well, I was told that you need to come get me at 1:30. And I said, 1:30? Well, how come 1:30? I said, you don't usually get off work until 2. And she said, I know, but she told me I need to clock out at 1:30. I'm like, okay. So I went up there. And I was expecting for this lady to tell Paige, well, tell your mom to come in so I can talk to her. Well, she didn't. And I asked Paige, I said, what is this lady's name? So I'm going to call and talk to her and just find out if she still wants you to work, or if she's not going to need you, or if you don't want to work. I need to know who I need to speak with. And Paige said, I don't know what her name is. I said, what do you mean you don't know what her name is? And she said she didn't have a badge on, a name tag on. She said she never said her name. And she said people are not happy. And a lot of people that normally work the same time I do, they're not there. So I'm wondering if they've lost a bunch of people because of this lady. Because Paige said that she was very hateful. She had a very hateful disposition. And that she just didn't want to go back. So I said, okay, well, if you don't want to go back, you don't have to go back. you're just doing this because you need to get out of the house some. If you don't work, then you're going to have to volunteer somewhere. You're going to have to volunteer at least one day a week, and you're going to have to volunteer for at least 3 hours, whether it is at the pet shelter or whatever you want to do, but you're going to have to do something. So she agreed, and she said, I would love to volunteer at, at the pet shelter that we go to. So I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I have not called the lady because I don't even know, since I don't know what her name is. I feel kind of silly, but I was waiting until the middle of the week and find out exactly what Paige wants to do. If she wants to keep trying or if she's just done, and I don't know. And I hate to just say we're done and then Paige decides that she wants to stay. And I said, you really didn't give it any time. She doesn't know you. You don't know her. And maybe we should just, check it out first before you decide that you're just not even going to try. And normally Paige will try, even if something doesn't work out the first time, she will be willing to try again. And she'll do that for a couple of times. And then about the third time, she will have made up her mind. She'll, tell me, I don't like doing this. And so it's like, okay, we won't do it anymore. So we did that with dance. We did it with ballet, gymnastics, on things that she enjoyed, things that she didn't. And so I'm like, okay, that is totally fine. And I was kind of waiting. Well, she still hasn't made up her mind. So I am going to call this afternoon, and I'm going to see if I can get in touch with her or get in touch with another manager and just talk to somebody there and see what they suggest. If they suggest that they don't need her, or they're not comfortable with special needs, because Christy definitely was, because her sister was special needs and she helped her a lot, then if they tell me that, then it's like, okay, fine. I totally get it. I appreciate all that this company has done for her, allowed her to work. I definitely appreciate it. I will not be upset. It will actually be better for me, to be honest, because I don't have to drive her almost an hour. Well, it takes us about 30 minutes in the mornings to get there, but we stop and we get breakfast every morning, or every Friday when I take her. And then on the way home, though, we are in awful, awful traffic. And so it can take us up to 45 minutes to get home. And then when I do get there, I'm sitting there for 2.5 hours waiting for her to get done with work. And so I have to drive another 15, 20 minutes to go to the library. And it's really the only place that I can go that's around there, unless I go to Starbucks or someplace like that, which I can do, and that's much closer, but it's so noisy that I'm usually working and I just cannot stand trying to work, and it's so noisy. There's some days I'm doing things that I can do that, but then on Fridays I try to get everything done so I don't have to work on the weekends. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with her, but if you will just have some good thoughts towards us, that would be greatly appreciated for her, and as well as for Madison. Madison's starting to get a little anxious because of the baby, but I would really appreciate all of your thoughts, your well wishes, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. And I will let you guys know once we figure out whatever that is. But that is a little update on her. And then with Madison, I got to go yesterday or Monday. I'm filming this the day that I'm planning on getting this out, which I don't like doing that. But yesterday, Monday, was just absolutely crazy. I mean, it was beyond cray-cray. So I went yesterday to Madison's first ultrasound that was here. She's already had two. That's all that they do in South Dakota. So she wasn't expecting to have another ultrasound. But because she's going to a new practice, new as in they hadn't seen her since she's been pregnant, and that's where she's going to be delivering. And so we went there yesterday, and she had her ultrasound there. It was kind of a quick ultrasound because they'd already had all of the results and everything from her last one. But we were looking, and so the nurse was telling us, this is what this is, and this is what this is, and she was measuring. And so she asked Madison, do you know what you're having? And Madison said, yes, we're having a girl. And she's like, okay. She's like, I see that. But she said, I didn't want to say anything if you didn't know, or if your family didn't know. Her husband was with us. I didn't want to spoil it. So I thought that was really sweet, because sometimes they just blurt it out. And so Madison said, yeah, we're having a girl. And so she was showing us, all the little bits and everything. And then at one point, I thought this was really weird. I guess some people would have maybe freaked out. Maybe, I know Paige would have if she was there. But when she showed us one part, I don't know how she did it, but you could see the baby. But then when she blew it up or she did something, you could actually see the baby's bones. You could see, like, it looked like she was like transparent. You could see right through her. You could see her spine. You could see her ribs. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And of course, Madison being in nursing, she thought that was really cool too. And she's like, I don't know how they do that, but I just love this part. And so then Madison was saying, is this, and this is this? And so the radiologist was saying, yes, that's exactly what that is. How do you know that? And so Madison told her. And so I thought that was really cool that Madison knew where a lot was. Some of the things I didn't even have any idea. And she's like, and that's the lungs. And I started dying out laughing. And Madison's like, what did you think it was? I said, to me, it looked like an eyeball. And so Madison really started laughing. She's like, I thought it was a nose. So she's like, no, that's her lungs. I mean, not even close to the head, really. But then she's like, and this is her head, and she's right where she's supposed to be. And then she kicked Madison. I mean, just hauled off and like field goal kicked her. And we could see it on the screen. And I thought, you go, girl. And we saw that was her foot. Madison's like, I didn't know or it was her hand. Madison said, I didn't know what she's been kicking me, but it's been right there. And so she is like sucker punching Madison. I mean, she has this little fist and it was balled up, and she just hauled off and sucker punched Madison right in the ribs. I mean, it's not funny, but it really was. And so the radiologist was dying out laughing. She thought that was really cool. She was sitting there sucker punching her, and then she was blowing bubbles. So we saw that, and we saw her feet. And so it was just, to me, it was really cool, because when I hadn't seen a ultrasound, a baby ultrasound since my kids, and ultrasounds weren't this clear whenever I had both of mine. I mean, I couldn't believe everything was so clear. Even her nose, we could see everything. And so the radiologist said, yes, that is, this is how we look to see if there's any issues. And she said she is just baking very well. We don't see any problems here. And she now weighs 3 pounds. So that was really cool. And Madison's all baby. I mean, she is just all baby. She was so little whenever she got pregnant that some people don't even know, because she looks like a normal size now, except for her stomach. And in some shirts, she looks a lot bigger. But the baby has moved down some, so you can tell that in her stomach. But I thought that was just really, really cool. And she's going to actually have one more ultrasound right before her due date, just to make sure that the baby is okay, the baby's positioned, everything looks good. So I probably will not go to another doctor's appointment with her until she does the next ultrasound. I'd like to go to that one. And then the radiologist gave us, all 3 of us, we got a picture of baby C. So I'm going to put that in her scrapbook that I'm going to make. And yes, I said I was absolutely done with scrapbooking. I was never going to scrapbook again. I didn't have a reason to. Well, I'm eating my words, because I'm going to have a little scrapbook for the baby. But it's not going to be a paper scrapbook like I used to do with my kids. It's going to be digital. I've already decided it will be all digital, but I can scan that little picture in and put that in there. And then I'm going to just do a digital book, and then I'll have it printed. So then I can give it to the other set of grandparents, and then to her dad, and to his wife, and then of course to Madison, and then we'll have one. So it'll be just easy doing it that way. So I'll do that for her first year, and that's probably going to be it. I won't plan on doing anything else. And it'll be a small one, so it'll be fine, but I'm not going to use any of my supplies or anything like that because it's going to definitely be digital. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. And I am doing well. I feel great. I have even felt good when it's been storming and raining a lot here. Normally, right before we have a bad storm, my leg starts to really bother me. Well, both of them. And I've always been that way since I've been born. And so I just kind of chalk it up, and it's gotten worse over the years, but I'm living with it. My doctor asked me if I'd like to go and see a rheumatologist, and I told her no. I'm not going to do that. They'll put me on something else. I'm not going to do that right now. I said, we'll keep that open. We'll keep that line of communication open just in case. But as of this moment, I'm not going to, because I don't want to be on any kind of medication. I don't want to have to do a lot of things that they want me to do in regards to like physical therapy or that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh no. So, but I am doing well. Work is doing well. I have gotten my classes all set up. I feel really good about this semester. Usually I don't. I don't know what it is about the semesters, but when a new semester starts, I feel like I have just got so much to do and that I need to put new material and things out, and I just feel like I'm not prepared. Well, I've gotten a lot of material recently that I've added to my classroom, and so I feel really good about that. I am still going to do some research. I'll add some more things, but I don't have to do it right this instant. And as of today, we are still allowed to go in on campus 2 days a week if we want. We have to be there for 20 hours. Doesn't matter if we go 2 days a week or if we go 5, but we have to be on campus for 20 hours, and then we are working off campus for 20 hours. So I'm going to be working 2 days on campus, and then I will work 3 days off. But on Fridays, I get off at noon. So my schedule's pretty good. The 10 hours on campus, that's going to be a little rough, but it always is. I've done it past year, but I'd rather do 2 days than 3 because of the drive. Now, if I lived closer to work, I probably would just do 3 days, go in for 3 days and then spread it out a little bit. But because of the drive, I usually just go ahead and I will just go 2 days a week instead of 3. And it is tiring, but to me, it's worth it because I can stay home the rest of the time. Tomorrow is going to be crazy because it's the first day of class for me. I mean, my classes are on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I have online courses, and then I also have my class that comes in on Wednesdays and on Thursdays. They still have work that they have to do. I still have to communicate with them every day, even though I'm not on campus possibly, or they're not on campus. We just communicate via email. So I still have to do that, but Wednesdays and Thursdays are my big days because they are on campus. And then I have 2 meetings tomorrow. Plus, I don't know what possessed me to do this, but I have to take Molly to get groomed. She is a mess. She looks awful, and her hair's all grown out. And I need to take her to the vet, And I don't want to take her to the vet looking like she does. Although, the vet told me they didn't care, but I would just rather her be nice and clean. And she needs to get cleaned up anyway. So I'm taking her to the vet or to the groomers tomorrow, and then pick her up tomorrow at later afternoon. I'm just going to have to take off work a little bit early, but that's okay too, because I'll make it up. I will definitely make up the time. And that way she is beautified. And I need to clean up my craft room. And her and Madison's dog has been in my craft room. So I don't want to clean it up until she's good and clean. So I'm going to do that. I'm hoping that I get to see my best friend on Saturday. We had talked about it. She went to Scrapbook Expo. I wasn't able to go this year because I went on a diamond painting retreat. So she bought me some things, and I want to see what she did. I always tell her, you are my purchasing assistant. And I do the same thing for her. If I'm out somewhere and I see something that I want to get, I will usually get it for her. And, I'll tell her I'm going to so-and-so. I'll look and see, and I'll let you know. And so that's just what we do. And I trust her that, she is going to get, what I need, or I don't really need anything, but I want. And so usually we buy the same thing. So she just gets me whatever she gets. So I'm really excited. She told me what she had gotten. She's like, I hope I didn't spend too much money. I'm like, no, of course not. You did fine. And we're always going back and forth. I owe her, she owes me. So now we got to figure out, okay, what do we owe each other, and get that straightened out. But I'm looking forward to seeing her. It really hasn't been that long since I've seen her, but it always feels like it's been a while. I think we saw each other last month, but it's crazy because she has grandkids that she watches and babysits. And then I've got work. She works part-time. And then she has, other things that she does. I have other things that I do. And it's just been crazy trying to see each other. So I guess we saw each other, last time we saw each other was in June, I guess, because I don't think I saw her before I went on the retreat. And then whenever I came back, she was leaving. And she has just gotten back from a trip. I know I've seen her once. We went to a craft store in Helen, Georgia, and spent a few hours together. That was fun. We hadn't done that before. And she has a lot of things going on, family things. And so and even though now we are closer to each other in terms of travel, but it doesn't matter because we're just so busy. So I think we worked it out to where we both do not have any plans for Saturday. So I'm going to go and spend some time with her. And then on Sunday, Paige wants to go swimming. And so Madison's new apartment has a super nice pool. I mean, it is one of the nicest pools I have seen, especially in an apartment. So if it's not raining, and they haven't found something else that they need to do, then we're going to go swimming over to Madison's for a couple of hours. And then I haven't seen her apartment since they, still got their furniture in, and they've been working really hard to get everything put up before he has to go back to work. So it's just been very busy. And then with them moving, we kept her pug and we kept her cat. Her cat, you don't even know that she's here. I have to remember, oh yeah, Lucy's here, because she's so good. And then her dog is really good too. She very seldom barks or cries. And then Molly keeps her company. So that's been kind of crazy. They've gotten all their stuff from our house. As far as I know, I think they got their computers last night. They came over for just a little bit, got their computers, and I think they may have one small box left, and that's it. So I need to get back to it in our house. I now need to clean the house up really good and clean up the library where the cat was. And then, because she is one of those wiry cats, hair, and she has to go and she has to get groomed. We never had Salem groomed. I never had Abby groomed, but they're short hair. Well, her cat has this wiry hair, and she just gets so matted up, and so she's going to have to take her in September to get her groomed, and so there's hair everywhere because she's shedding really bad. So I'm going to have to clean that up. And then Paige still has some of her bedding and stuff in there when she slept on a blow-up bed and a little mattress. And so I need to get that put up. I need to vacuum. So I'm hoping to get that done before the weekend. But I am planning on Sunday, I am planning on spending some time diamond painting. I need to get caught up desperately. I have quite a few whips going, and I will show you guys on my August month in review. I wasn't going to, and I thought, there's no point in waiting until quarterly because some of these will already be done. Some probably won't. That I'm trying to spend some time as much as I can on my whips, but I also want to get some done. So I'll have that come early part of September to show you guys. And I really want to get more of this one done because I've got two others that I'm going to start in October. They're not as large as this one, but I don't have all of these large canvases that I'm working on. So I need to definitely get with it. I'd like to work on my Josephine wall sometime soon. I won't get it finished. I'll be doing good to get it finished by April, but our event doesn't start until April anyway, so I may just wait and pick that one back up in April as my J wall for next year. Although I would like to go ahead and kit another one up, and I couldn't do that using the containers that I like to use for my Josephine wall canvases if I don't finish mine. So I'll make that decision when it gets closer, if I can get more of it done or not. But, we'll see on that one. And then I will have to start on my October canvases, the middle of September. I need to figure out what I'm going to work on there. I think I know. I am pretty sure that I know what I'm going to work on. But who knows? I might change my mind by then. And as far as diamond painting, what has been up? Not a whole lot. As I've already mentioned, I have been able to get some progress done on this one. Also, I've gotten some good progress done on my Craftably. That one is my upstairs canvas, and I didn't get to work on it over the weekend that much because I was getting ready for the new semester. And then yesterday, I had a lot of things going on because of the new semester. I had a lot of emails from students asking questions and different things. And then my other school had a huge project that was due. That took me quite a while. And I had some grading I had to get done for end of the term there. So yesterday I worked from like 6 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. And then I lay down to go to sleep, could not fall asleep for nothing. I finally fell asleep and I woke up and I thought, man, it must be at least 4 o'clock. I looked at my phone and it was 11:30. So I don't know how long it took me to get to sleep, and I didn't sleep very long. And I laid there, and I thought, fine, I will just get up and finish up something that was due today. Thought that would just save me time from having to worry about it this morning. So I got up and did that, and then I finally went back to bed at like 2:30. And sometimes I'll get up and diamond paint, but a lot of times I don't, because I don't want to turn a light on and disturb everybody else. Although the doors are closed, the bedroom doors are closed, but I don't want to disturb anybody else. Paige was still awake because she came to see who was up. And then today I've been kind of tired all day. But I guarantee you, as soon as I lay down, I will be wide awake. I'll be thinking, I need to get this done, this done, and this done. And have I paid for this? And have I done this? And I do it all the time. It just is one of those things. So hopefully I will be tired enough tonight, since I didn't get much sleep last night, that I will fall asleep and I'll sleep all night. Because I really do need some sleep. I'm really tired. But it just is what it is. And there's no rhyme or reason. It's like sometimes I can sleep, sometimes I can't. I wasn't stressed or anything. I just woke up. And I've tried all the tricks. Counting sheep will know I'm wide awake for that. And then I get anxious because I forget where I am. I'm like, oh no, I forgot that sheep. And then I have to start thinking again exactly where I am. I'm like, this is silly. So I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. And then I tried the warm milk. Thought that was disgusting. And I've tried a couple other things. I don't want to take any medicine to make me sleep. So I will hopefully get some sleep tonight or possibly this weekend. This has been such a fun canvas to work on. I was a little concerned at first of doing this one because I just figured that it was going to be a lot of confetti. And if you're not familiar with that term, that's where you have a lot of color changing within a short, small area. And I thought this is going to take me forever to get this one done. I already have some large ones. I don't need to add to my stash of large ones, add to my whips. But then someone told me that they completed this and it went pretty quickly. And it has gone pretty quickly. I can usually do almost half a row in no time. And that's just sitting down for maybe 3 hours. So if I just had the time to sit and do it, I could. But I'm always having to stop and do something else. Or my husband will ask me, you know where so-and-so is? If he comes home, he's working on something. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I still don't know where everything is here. And then if I do find something, I go back the next time and it's gone. Somebody's moved it, and that somebody is usually my husband, just like he did when I was doing something with Madison. I go into the kitchen, I'm looking for a cat treat, and I look in the pantry and he has rearranged everything. I'm like, where is everything? It wasn't exactly the cleanest in the world, the neatest, but I knew where everything was. And now it's like, I don't know where anything is. And so I had to ask him. I kept looking and looking. I'm like, where is the cat treats? So then he told me, I'm like, that's not even where it should be. I never would have even thought about it being there. I said, where's the dog treats? Well, of course, the dog treats and the cat treats weren't together. I'm like, that makes no sense. So I would have, should have left it. I would have gotten to it. I appreciate you wanting to help, but I'm the one that's in the kitchen the majority of the time, and I can't find anything. So then I had to just kind of figure out where everything was. That took longer. And I go out in the garage and everything is constantly being moved. I'll clean out a box and then I will go, especially if it's on a weekend, I will go out there just a couple of hours later and I'm like, okay, where was my box that I was about to start working on? It was right here. And I'll point to the front of the garage. And my husband will say, yeah, I started moving things around and I don't know where it is. Then I have to pick just another box. I'm like, I will never get this finished. If, I plan on doing a box that's going to go in the kitchen. And then I go over there and no, that's not a kitchen box. That is a box for the garage or, whatever it is. So I'm like, we're going to have to figure this one out. I'm going to just hurry up and get this done. I still have some craft supplies that are still in my floor, in my craft room that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with. I'm going to keep it, sell it, or give it away, or what. So I will eventually get everything done around here, but who knows when. That's one of those, I have no idea. But we're still living our house. That's a good thing. I'm not moving again. I think Madison they've gotten more organized than we have, but they have less things than what we do, which of course makes sense. It's only 2 of them, and we have just a lot of stuff. And so her husband called today and needed a ladder. I think he's trying to mount their TV on the wall, and asked if we had a ladder that he could borrow, and I told him we did, but it's in Dave's building as storage and that I can't get to it. So he would have to wait until Dave gets home from work, and which is usually about 3. So he said that he would call back and see. And I let Madison use my front door key. We have not made any extra keys yet. So every time that I am out, if Paige isn't with me, then I forget that I don't have a front door key. So I have to go all the way around the back, which really isn't that far. But I have to go around the back, and then I have to grab my purse, get the key, and then I have to go upstairs in order to get into my house. Which is fine, but when it's raining and I forget, or I have my hands full of groceries, it's like, oh, this is a pain. So I need to make sure that I get that taken care of this weekend. We finally have heard from the structural engineer that our city is requiring that we have a certified structural engineer and plans that he has to sign off on before we can get our permit to start the deck. That has been an ordeal, let me tell you. I hope we never have to do this again. So the structural engineer has been very busy, and our project is, in his eyes, it's nominal. It didn't cost us very much for him to do it. And so, he's not in a hurry. He wants, the big bucks. So he has not cashed our check yet, said he will not cash it until he completes the work. He's already had somebody come out and to look at our existing deck, to look up in our attic to make sure that the roof can hold the additional weight of the roof on the deck. All that's been done. He just has to put it in his CAD program and then regurgitate a report and then send the report to us. And if we like the way that the deck looks, if we agree to it, then he will go ahead and sign off on it. We will then send it to our city, and then hopefully they will approve it very quickly, and then we can call our contractor, and then I'm sure we're going to have to hurry up and wait with him because you have to get on a waiting list, and we've been up twice, but we hadn't been ready. So we've just had to wait because we've been waiting on these plans. So that will be done hopefully soon. Maybe before the end of this year, we will have our deck, but then it's going to be too cold to sit out there. But we'll have it for next year. We will be ready in the spring for our deck. And then the next order of business, my husband is going to change out the electric panel. And he is an engineer, so he can do that. And he has everything that he needs. Went and bought the new panel and everything that he needs for it. And then we are planning on getting a hot tub once he gets the new panel done. And after our deck is finished, then we can we're planning on putting a hot tub underneath the deck. So that is plans for the year. And then we're going to paint, do some other things next year. And he's getting him a really nice building that he can put his things in. We can get it out of storage. So we are moving right along. We're going to buy some furniture next year, but we are going to add a very small den, just like to have our larger TV in, and that way we're not upstairs, and we're going to have a smaller TV upstairs along with a couch that I need to buy. So we have plans. It's just getting time to do them and being able to do them. With videos that I have for the upcoming week, I have started one that I am going to be putting out there either on Saturday or Sunday. More than likely it is going to be Sunday, and that's going to be a new series that I am excited to share with you, and I hope that you guys will like it. And I'm about halfway finished with that one, so I think that's going to be really good. And let's see, and then on Thursday I have several unboxings that I need to do, and I have purchased a while ago, I mean, like some of these are last year, that I need to go ahead and unbox, and I need to add those to my stash. They've just been in boxes, so I hope that everything in there is okay. I need to stop doing that. And I'm hoping, I did buy a very small canvas that is a Halloween canvas. I wanted something small, and so what I bought was around 40 by 40. And I'm hoping that that would come in. It's supposed to be in sometime next week, or either this week or early next week. And so if that comes in by, really, I guess it has to be in by tomorrow, so I probably will wait and do that one the following week. I do need to do some more kit ups, so I am ready for September. And I'm looking at my diamond paintings to see what do I want to do for the rest of the year. I am still waiting on Add More Zest to come out with their Advent canvas that they do for December. And I have bought one for the past 3 years. So I'm hoping that they will come out with it. Usually it's out by now. I hope that there's not a problem because of the new tariffs for the US. So we'll see about that. And if I don't have that, I've got something else that I can do. I'm also waiting on Diamond Art Studio UK. They are coming out with a temperature project. And so I'm hoping that that will come out by the end of the year so I could do that next year. I started one last year. It didn't like how it was going, and I just kind of abandoned it. It just didn't look good to me, and I thought, I don't like this. There's not any point me wasting time on it. And so I didn't finish it. And then this year I was going to do one, and I waited too late, and I thought, I don't have to worry about getting all of the drills or figuring out if I need the drills and what I want to do. I kind of waited till the last minute, kept dilly-dallying on that one. So I'm hoping that that does come out so I can order that. And then also I want to order, I'm hoping, a cross stitch from them, cross stitch conversion. They're Tart to Art. They've been hinting around that they have had one ready for Christmas since January, or they've been working on it. So that's something else that I'm just kind of look out. And other than that, I doubt I'm going to buy anything else for the rest of the year, unless something comes out that I just have to have. And I might look at Black Friday. That's something else to think about. I don't know. I have spent enough this year on diamond paintings and accessories, not as much as I usually do. So I am proud about that. But I do have unboxings I need to get to so I can put those in my new inventory system that I'm planning on working on. I've got to that done by the end of the year too. So I have a lot that I have going on. And then, thinking about next year and my goals, I need to make my goals more realistic than I did for this year. I need to really sit down and think about it. I thought that's what I did last year, but looking back at my goals, I'm thinking, oh, girl, what did you think? Why did you think that you could do 30 diamond paintings for this year when I've done 11? So I'm obviously not going to make that goal. I'm not going to change it because that's my goal. I mean, I made it for the year. And if I don't make the goal, I can say, well, I made 20% of my goal. Or I made, 50% or whatever it is on each of my goals. So I at least I'll have something that I can say, well, I did that. So, 25% is better than nothing. And I still have a few months left. So I'm hoping that I'll have some more that I can say I finished, but it's not going to be 30. There's no way when I've only done 11. But the ones that I've been doing are large. And I know what I was thinking when I set up my goals for this year. I was thinking I'm going to do smaller canvases. I'm going to do one a month. That's the minis. And, I know that if I do the smaller ones and just focus on those and not larger ones, then I can get that many. And I look to see, how many, and yeah, that would work. But I didn't do minis every month because honestly, it was fun for the first 4 or 5 months, but then it started getting tedious. I'm like, I don't want to sit here and work on these minis all the time. Doing a few here and there, 1 or 2 every few months is good, but not every month. I didn't like it. So I'm definitely not going to do that again unless it just works out that way and I do one a month. But I don't see me doing that. So that's something else. Is the end of the year will be here before you know it. And I need to start thinking, about those things. And I need to update my logbook. And I need to do this. I need to do that. But I think next year we won't have to worry about a wedding. So that'll be good. And we won't have to worry about baby's birth because, she'll already be here. And we will have to worry about baby because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of changes with that. Master will start going back to work after the baby's born. So we're all going to have to pitch in so that she goes to daycare as less as possible. So that's, what we're kind of looking at. So that could be busy too. But I am perfectly fine with it. And we're not moving. So that's another plus, that I'll have more time because I don't have to worry about moving. And maybe by the end of this year, I will feel like I am in this house enough to where everything is put where it's supposed to. Everything has its own place. I have decluttered some, which I've done a lot of decluttering, but I still need to do more. And it's mainly in my craft room. I got rid of a lot of clothes and, bags and different things, but it's a craft room that really is suffering. And it's not hurting anybody. It's down in the bonus room, so I don't care. Somebody sees it, good for them. Okay, you guys, there are 2 events that I was referring to in the intro, and wanted to go ahead and give you some information about both of those. One is called Cozy and Spooky, and it's hosted by Rebecca on Facebook. I believe that she is going to be working towards getting a YouTube channel, but she hasn't done it yet. And she is one of my fabulous subscribers. And she also was at the retreat. I met her. She's super duper nice. And I'm going to work on something. I have a couple of my canvases in mind that I want to work on. It does start in September, and so you can find all the information on their Facebook group, And so I will put that information underneath the description if you are interested. And you can work on that one and also work on others. So maybe use one canvas for a few paintings or a few groups, because there's going to be a lot starting in September, or there always is. Every year it's starting to be quite a bit of, and even more so, of groups doing things. And so that's going to be a really cool event. And also my event, I just turned off my iPad. My event that I am hosting is going to be through the one with the diamond art website, and they are going to be one of the sponsors. They're going to have some surprises throughout the event. I don't even know what those are yet, so I am really excited about that as well. And they are going to have an amazing giveaway for the grand prize. There's also going to be another grand prize. We'll have two grand prizes. One will be from Diamond Painting Shop, and if you do not have a canvas from the one with the diamond art, but you have a Finira canvas from Diamond Painting Shop, you can use that one also. I made sure of that before we even started this. I did not want to ask the owner of Diamond Painting Shop unless, they could also be part of the canvases, and they said, sure, of course, we'd be glad to have them. And so we can use either one. I am planning on doing two canvases, one from each company, because I am just crazy like that. And with it, you need to have a new start. I am going to speak with both of the owners, with the one with the diamond art, and ask them if they are definitely requiring a new start. They said that they wanted that, but I want to make sure that everyone has a chance to get their canvases. And I have not gotten mine yet, but I am hoping that I will be getting it in shortly. I did the limited release, and so that one I think was a little delayed. So hopefully that's on its way, and I'll find out more information and I can get it to you guys through the description or the comments, or I can actually put it underneath the community tab. So be on the lookout for that, and I'll also put information underneath their Facebook group when I do get that. We are not requiring a finish, but you need to have at least a 30 by 30 section completed in order to be eligible for the grand prize. But you can win weekly until the grand prize, which will be drawn around October the 12th. And I will be doing that on their Facebook group, where I may do a video and then post it through there. There's not that many requirements really for the new start, though, since right now we are requiring a new start. If that's to change, I'll let you guys know. But on the 1st, September 1st, I'm going to go ahead and have it open, where you can go ahead and you can post a photo of what you're going to be working on, your canvas, and I will give you a secret password on that. And then with your secret password, you will just put that on a piece of paper, put that next to your canvas, and so that way we can see that it is a new start. That's the best way that I know to do it, to make it fair for everybody. And then also, I am going to have a Google Doc for you guys, and that will be open a few days before the start of the event, which means I need to open that next week. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, or you can ask them as well. Other than having the Finira, you have to have a Finira canvas. Other than that, there's really nothing else besides a new start, and then also a small portion of that completed. Then other than that, that's pretty much it. We just want you to have fun. It is their first time hosting an event, and I'm hoping that it goes off very well. I hope that I do a good job for them and that they are pleased with the results that they see. They do have a code that you can use to save on the canvases. There's also a code for diamond painting shop, and that is underneath my description. So I will put that there. And then I can also put it underneath the Facebook. But I'll definitely put the Facebook information at the bottom. So feel free to join. I hope that we have as many as possible that are wanting to join and participate. And who knows, we may even be able to have the artist on Facebook with us. Maybe we can do a Facebook Live or even a live on YouTube. I'm going to ask them about that also. I think that would be really cool to have the artist that we can ask some questions, and just maybe we can all go live. I have a Zoom link that we could use. So I don't know, that's something I just popped in my head. So I will see how well that they know the artist and if they'd be willing to do it. So and then I hope that as many of you can join Rebecca's. I think that she is a really cool lady, and I think that it's going to be a very fun event. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be participating, and I might even participate for prizes this time. I usually don't, but I might. We'll see. I always feel like I'm taking from somebody else if I participate. That's all that I have for you today. We are getting close to the hour mark, and I need to have time to go through and edit this. And also I have to go pick up our groceries, and I have been so busy today. I haven't even had a shower yet. I get my shower first thing in the morning, but I started in when I first woke up and have not had a shower yet, and so I need to get that done and then figure out what I'm going to cook for dinner. That's always a struggle. I need to look for some more recipes or something, but I will show you what I've gotten done. And it was not really a whole lot today, but I made some progress. Progress is progress. So let me flip her around and we can see. This is almost getting too big for my table where I am now. I can show you all of it. I have been working on the tree today, which is why it probably looked a little boring because it's a tree. Okay, here's what I've gotten done. I've done all the top, which is up through here, and I'm trying to stretch you out some more. Not make anybody sick. That looks a little better. Okay, so this is what I've gotten done. I have gotten all this top done, and I'm over here. This is the third row. Maybe I've done 4 rows. I'm almost done with the 3rd row. So I'll be on the 4th row soon. You can see her little ears there and her cute little flower there. That's done. And then I have a tree. Moving you upward a little bit. I have a tree that's up here, and this is where I am down here. So I'm just working more on this tree. So hopefully I will get more done, but I may work around her and just keep the plastic on Miss Tittles and just try to get the actual background done and then have her done last because she is more fun. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you here to join our friends and family with the Crafty Diamond. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye!